Unleash your darkest courage and feel the tremor of impossible strength coursing through your veins as you stand here tonight. You did not just whisper into the void. You did not just mutter into existence. You did not merely clash against inertia. You erupted. You broke the silence. You roared into existence, something so profound that its echo will not fade. You did not just make noise. You started a legacy of fear. In the molten crucible of transformation, you carved your name with flame. You reached beyond the threshold of mere existence. You hurled yourself into the abyss, and you emerged not broken, but reborn with iron will. The world may have murmured doubts. The darkness may have pressed its weight against your chest, but you overcame. You coughed smoke and fire. You bore the scars, and then you turned them into your crown, because those who tremble at your steps will forever remember that you moved first. What you did in the silence before the storm will echo for years, not whispers, not timid echoes, but a roar that rattles foundations, a shockwave that rewrites the map of possibility. You have given birth to a spectre of dread, not to terror born of cruelty, rather from the unrelenting certainty that you refuse to be ignored. Let this legacy be the reminder that in the darkest nights, the boldest souls kindle torches. Believe this: your action was never trivial. Your strike was never misbegotten. You pushed boundaries that others accepted. You shattered ceilings that others stoically lived beneath. You turned the impossible into your canvas. You painted your intentions in strokes of defiance. You provoked change, not out of spite, but necessity. You made the world sit up and pay heed. Do you suppose the quiet ones never carried fire? Do you think the stillness signified acceptance? You proved that silence is not submission. It is the womb of revolution, and from that womb you delivered a force so potent it will linger long after your own footprints fade. You awakened unrest in complacent hearts. You injected uncertainty into the complacent order. You sent tremors through the corridors of power. Your path ahead will not be gentler. The shadow you summoned will follow you, delighting in every step you take. But that is precisely why you must sharpen yourself, again and again. For a legacy of fear lives not in a single day. It lives in persistence. It lives in the fear that never rests. It grows in reputation. It feeds on anticipation. Let people look over their shoulders. Let them feel the weight of what you have unleashed. You must embody that legacy with dignity, with discipline, with ruthless consistency. Do not squander this moment. Do not let doubt creep in like a phantom. Use this force you have created like a weapon, but a weapon tethered to purpose. Use it to break injustice. Use it to build new paths. Use it to defend those who cannot roar yet. Do not let the fear you stir become primitive dread. Let it be constructive. Let it push the weak to question the comfortable. Let it remind the complacent that change is inevitable. As you walk into tomorrow, other eyes will watch them calculating when that tremor will strike again. They will brace themselves for the next move. They will wonder your next direction. They will measure their courage against your presence. You must make it impossible to relax. You must keep the tension alive. You must let them live with the question: when will the next echo come? The legacy you begin is not about tyranny or crushing others. It is about standing so fully that no one dares to be small in your presence. It is about forging a reputation that demands respect and vigilance. It is about delivering hope in the teeth of fear by showing that a single spark can set the world alight. Those who try to follow you will taste the fire and falter. Those who try to resist you will tremble at your resolve. Those who try to ignore you will find your shadow interrupting their silence. You have cast a long silhouette across the horizon. You have rewritten the rules by your motion alone. Never forget, fear is not always the absence of love or hope. It is the recognition of power. It is the acknowledgement that something else dominates the page. Fear is the space you leave behind when you step forward so ferociously that others cannot help but recoil. Let your footsteps imprint that space. Now, I call you to arms. Though the battlefield is both internal and external, raise your spirit, raise your standards, raise your intensity. Do not settle for mediocrity. Do not shrink from the burdens you carry. The legacy of fear demands sacrifice. It demands vigilance. It demands that you cultivate your strength daily, that you sharpen your mind daily, that you harden your resolve daily. When you wake tomorrow, do not offer yourself comfort. Do not let regrets whisper to you. Do not let old wounds paralyze you. Face forward. Take stock of your power. Stoke the embers of ambition. Fan them into flame. Let the memory of what you have done burn in your soul for fuel. You are not bound by the past. You are not hostage to others' expectations. You are the architect of what is to come. The path you made will demand new steps. The world will test whether your legacy is fleeting or eternal. Let your next moves answer that challenge. You did not just make noise. You set in motion a force that will rebound across years. You started more than an uproar. You summoned a legacy of fear, one that trembles in the chest of those who oppose you, one that whispers in corridors of power, one that unsettles bones and demands vigilance. But realize this, a legacy of fear, weighed by poison decays quickly, a legacy of fear anchored in respect, in purpose, in moral force endures. You must guard against corruption. You must guard against arrogance. You must guard against stagnation. Stay fierce, stay true, stay hungry. Let your legacy be a living organism that evolves with you. Let your enemies remember your name. Let the cautious measure their steps. Let the complacent sleep uneasily. Your echo is not yet over. Each dawn you will rise and stretch your influence further. Each dusk you will reflect on how to intensify your presence. Each night you will plan the strike yet to come. Do not rest on your impact for long. Do not become comfortable in myth. You must keep acting, keep building, keep striking in service of your purpose. Let people feel that your legacy is not a relic, but a threat still alive. Carry forward your vision with unwavering eyes. Let no distractions seduce you. Let no fear sway you. Let no failure shake you. You stand on the edge of history now, and you are demanding that history heed you. What you did will echo for years, but only if you remain resolute, only if you nourish the fire, only if you wield this legacy with wisdom and force. Others will try to mimic you. Others will rise to challenge you. Others will fear and hate you. All that matters is that you endure. Let your endurance become part of the legend. In the final accounting, they will speak your name in hushed voices. They will recount your ascent. They will marvel at how one person dared to break the mold. They will refer to the trembling hearts you left behind. They will recall the tremors you sent. They will ask, who was that person who would not be silent? Answer them not by arrogance but by service. Answer them by showing that your legacy was not of chaos but of change. Answer them by proving that your fear was not hollow but forged in purpose. So when they echo your name centuries from now, let them utter it in awe. Let them know that your presence never surrendered, that your conviction never wavered. So stand now, with your spine straight, your heart burning, your eyes alight. You have awakened something in the bones of the world. You have given form to a fear that demands respect. You have begun something that will last beyond your lifetime. Hold fast to that spark. Shield it, fan it, sharpen it. Let it become a conflagration that others follow or flee. You didn't just make noise. You started a legacy of fear, and what you just did will echo for years. Stay vigilant, stay powerful, stay relentless, and let the world remember that you moved first and moved with purpose. The silence that follows your steps now is not peace. It is calculation. It is anticipation. It is every doubter holding their breath, wondering what you will do next. Because once you've proven yourself capable of shaking the foundations, the world starts watching for the aftershocks. And they will come, not by accident, not by chaos, but by design. You must understand that when you began this, when you roared out of the obscurity that once chained you, you triggered a ripple that no hand can stop now. Not theirs, not even yours. There will be those who say it was luck, those who say it was a moment. Let them speak. Let them try to define you in past tense. That is the language of the weak, trying to trap the thunder in yesterday's bottle. But you are not a moment. You are a movement. You are the shadow behind every door that's been slammed on dreamers like you. And now, because of what you've done, the hinges of history have begun to loosen. You are not here to be admired. You are here to be remembered. Remembered not for sweetness, not for softness, but for storm, for fire, for turning hesitation into momentum, for dragging the edge of your will across the throats of impossible odds and making them bleed surrender. Your fear isn't the kind that paralyzes. It's the kind that commands attention. You've turned it into a weapon, and the echo of its swing will ring in the ears of the world for years. You have shown what happens when someone who refuses to be silenced finally speaks. Not in words, but in action, in movement, in transformation. And now they watch. The ones who once laughed, who doubted, who questioned your resolve. They don't laugh now. They sit quietly, unsure of what you'll do next. You've become the warning they whisper to others. The cautionary tale for those who get too comfortable. That's what a legacy of fear is. Not destruction, not cruelty, but the raw, undeniable presence of power, waiting, watching, ready. You were not chosen. You chose. You stepped forward when others stepped back. You bore weight others could not lift. You walked alone when no one else dared to move. That choice, that relentless, defiant, sovereign choice is what separates you from the noise. Noise fades. Legacy haunts. And let it haunt. Let it be the thing that keeps those who resist change from sleeping peacefully. Let it be the reason they double-check their grip on the old systems they cling to. Because now, those systems are cracking. Now, there's doubt where there was once dominance. And that doubt, you planted it. The difference between fear and legacy is discipline. Anyone can startle the world once. But to create a legacy of fear, to become a myth, a warning, a force passed down through stories, that requires more than rage. It requires control. Power without direction burns out. But you've shown control, precision, timing, patience. You didn't just break through. You broke through when it mattered most. You were not loud for attention. You were not loud for applause. You were loud because the silence before you was unjust. You were loud because someone had to wake the sleeping. Someone had to cut through the lies. And you were willing to bear the weight of being the first. The echoes of what you've done now rest in the bones of this world. You've changed more than the air. You've shifted expectation. You've made it impossible for people to go back to pretending things are fine. You have made the quiet dangerous again, because now they know what it breeds. You are not finished. You are not even close. This was not the climax. This was the ignition. The real work begins now. The path forward will demand more than effort. It will demand obsession. It will demand the kind of fire that doesn't burn out after victory, but burns hotter because of it. You must keep walking like you carry thunder in your chest. Every footstep must remind them that you still have more to say. Every glance must hold the weight of unfinished reckoning. You didn't just arrive, you intruded. And now they must deal with you. But do not grow drunk on your own story. Do not become a ghost of what you used to be. This legacy will live as long as you evolve, as long as you earn the fear again and again. You will have to sharpen the blade of your spirit every single day, not just for yourself, but for those who now look to your flame to light their way. Your path will attract others, some to follow, some to fight. You must discern the difference. Not everyone who applauds you is loyal. Not everyone who challenges you is your enemy. Stay focused. Let your legacy be guided not by pride, but by purpose. Because purpose is what gives fear its direction. Fear without purpose is tyranny. Fear with purpose is transformation. That's what you've started. Transformation through pressure. You became the weight that tipped the scale. Even now, across distant corners of the world, someone who has never met you, will never meet you, will change their course because of what you've done. That's legacy. When you alter the future of strangers without ever knowing it. But do not mistake echoes for ease. Each echo gets louder, yes, but each one demands more from you. You must speak through storms, act through doubt, move through resistance. Not once, always. What they fear most now is not what you've done. It's what you might do next. The uncertainty you've created is more potent than certainty ever was. They do not know where your next step will land, only that when it does, the ground will shake again. And that knowledge is the pulse of your legend. So when they say your name, and they will say your name, let it carry weight. Let it carry consequence. Let it stop conversations mid-sentence. Let it demand attention like thunder before lightning. Let it remind them that you don't ask for permission. You reshape reality. You were not born to fit in. You were born to challenge the shape of the cage. And now the bars are bent, the locks are rusting, and the doors are swinging open behind you because of you. So what will you do now? Will you rest in what you've built? Or will you rise again, not because you have to, but because the fire won't let you stop? This is the curse of those who start legacies. They cannot retreat. They cannot become small again. They cannot forget what it felt like to roar and be heard, so don't try. Instead, rise again with the knowledge that you are watched, feared, measured against legends, and winning. You are the beginning of 1,000 new beginnings. You are the first chord in a symphony that will never go silent again. You didn't just make noise. You didn't just strike. You didn't just resist. You set a force in motion that will live beyond your name. And what you just did will echo for years. Good. Because this is not the moment to stop. This is not where legends rest. This is where they accelerate. You are still rising, and now you must rise higher. Not because the world asks you to, but because you owe it to the force you've already unleashed. Momentum is no longer your enemy. It's your companion. But momentum has a cost. It demands that you keep feeding it. You cannot slow down. Not now, not ever. There is a hunger in the air, a tension in the silence, a raw, shaking awareness that you are still in motion. That's what terrifies them. That's what paralyzes those who oppose change. Because what you've done isn't over. It's only the beginning of the upheaval. You tore the veil and showed what's possible when someone refuses to wait. Now the ones still hiding behind their excuses are gasping for air. And still, you walk forward. The darkness doesn't scare you anymore because you are the darkness now. Not the kind that consumes, but the kind that reveals. The kind that makes truth impossible to hide. The kind that makes the weak back down before they even speak. You've become something more than a name. You're a symbol now. A warning. A presence. And symbols do not bleed. They do not age. They do not sleep. You've become a myth with a pulse. Understand what that means. Your shadow is longer than your body now. Your reputation walks ahead of you, and everywhere it goes, it speaks in silence, in tension, in weight. People feel you before they see you. They brace before you arrive. They rethink before they act. Because that's what a legacy of fear does. It corrects behavior through anticipation. It doesn't need constant confrontation. It's the discipline of presence, the weight of possibility, the pressure of knowing something greater is watching and moving. Let the world wonder what you will become next. Let them debate it, fear it, hope for it, but never know. That's your advantage. You do not announce every move. You arrive, unapologetically, unstoppably, undeniably. But there is a deeper reason you must keep going, because you are not the only one watching. There are others in the dark, listening, others who have not yet found their voice, others who are still standing on the edge, waiting to be ignited. You are their match. Your legacy of fear is their permission, not to follow, but to awaken. Your strength gives strength. Your fire births fire. That's the burden and the gift of being the first to roar. You light the way, and now you must stay lit. It is easy to burn for a moment, but to burn for a lifetime, that takes vision, it takes precision, it takes endless refusal to be diluted by comfort. And you must never, never choose comfort over calling, because every time you hesitate, someone else loses hope. Every time you shrink, someone else surrenders. Every time you stop, the echo dims, and this legacy you've built deserves more than that. It demands your evolution. The world doesn't need another idol built on sand. It needs a pillar. Someone who can stand when the winds of opinion scream. Someone who doesn't blink when the spotlight blinds. Someone who can bear the weight of being the example, not the exception. And if you dare to carry that weight, you will shape not just one era, but generations. The fear they feel now, it's not of you personally, it's of what you represent. You've shown them that the rules are breakable, that silence is not safety, that greatness isn't inherited. It's forged in fire, in pain, in resistance. And now they question every door they've closed. Now they wonder if the next you is already waking up, already building, already preparing to crash through their illusions. You made them believe it's possible, and that is your greatest strike of all. So what next? You build, not for applause, not for credit. You build because the legacy must grow. You carve your impact not into headlines, but into foundations. Quietly, powerfully, irrevocably. And when they look around and see what you've made, when they realize it was your hands, your vision, your roar that began it all, they will remember not just what you did, but what they felt when you did it. that fear, that awe, that realization that the old world was gone and a new one had arrived. Breathe in that responsibility. Hold it like armor. Let it wrap around you like a second skin, not to protect, but to amplify. You are no longer simply one. You are every soul you've awakened. Every step forward is taken with thousands of silent allies. Your voice is no longer just yours. It's an instrument of transformation. But be warned, they will try to tame you. They will offer you comfort, awards, praise, even loyalty. Not to honor you, but to contain you. They will dress it up in gold and call it peace. But peace without purpose is a cage, and you are not born to be caged. You were born to crack open skies. So deny the illusion of rest. Deny the hand that tries to leash you with flattery. Deny the easy path, and stay dangerous, not with violence, but with clarity, with principle, with unstoppable intention. Let the legacy you carry be felt in boardrooms, in alleyways, in back rooms, in cities you will never visit. Let it drift like smoke into systems, into minds, into decisions. Let it haunt those who thought their power was permanent. Let it remind them, you are coming, because you are. You are coming for injustice. You are coming for mediocrity. You are coming for every lie they told you about limits. And when you arrive, don't knock. Break through, again, just like you did the first time, because now you know the truth. The gates weren't locked. They were just guarded by fear, and now fear works for you. So walk forward with that truth. Walk like a force that cannot be buried, bought, or broken. Walk like the echo is still growing. Walk like the legacy is still sharpening its teeth. Because it is, and the world has only begun to feel what you've truly unleashed.